I was sitting about, I guess, 5, 6 feet from Mike Levine, sitting on the edge of the stage, and Rick Emmett approached the front of the stage, and I took out my camera and took a photograph. And I may be responsible for the no flash rule for concert photography, because I lit him up like a Christmas tree, and to this day I can still see his face all those years later. But yeah, I had to start somewhere, and from that point on, I knew that I needed a much better camera, and from that point I was in search. This is the second in a series of what I would do if I had to start all over again as a concert photographer. And I'd start out with no portfolio, no camera gear, no nothing, no contacts, nothing at all. And other than the fact that I had a desire to be a concert photographer. And what I did is literally, I was sitting on the stage at a Triumph concert with an Instamatic camera, not knowing any better, when I was about 17 years old, and took a photograph with a flash and like the blinded Rick Emmett. So sorry, Rick. Please forgive me. But anyway, I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert photographer in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I've been a concert photographer since probably 1977. I've photographed bands from all over the world, and currently I'm shooting for magazines and the like that. So welcome. What happened is, the first thing is, I knew from that point on I needed a new camera, something better. So being 17 years old, I asked for a new camera for Christmas, and not knowing anything about cameras, I asked for a Minolta 110 zoom. That wasn't the camera to have either. So what I ended up with was this. It was a Petrie 30 compact 35 millimeter film camera, and this started the majority of all my stuff. But as for you, if you're looking to start out fresh, what I would recommend is using your cell phone. Yeah, I said that. Use your cell phone. One, you have nothing, okay? And when you go into photograph concerts in clubs, or some places, like last night, we did the Rustic in East Dallas last night. If you have nothing, they're not going to stop a cell phone. They're not going to say anything boo to you, so you can walk right in and do it. It's the quickest and easiest way to get photographs of any kind of decent quality in order to get a start a portfolio. Now, as you get a portfolio, what you will do is you'll start culling those old photographs out and putting the better, newer photographs in, and that's going to take some time. But for the meantime, you need a camera, and a camera that's going to do get you those photographs to put them into a portfolio. So once you get some stuff going on with the cell phone, you're going to want a camera, a proper camera. And let me tell you what, a lot of the stuff you see on the internet is baloney. It's garbage. Okay, you do not have to spend $3,000 on a camera body. You do not have to spend $2,000 on a lens. You don't have to do that in order to get concert photos. And I'll prove it to you in a little bit right after this section of the video. But what I would recommend is that you buy a budget used camera, and there's several of them. In fact, someone gave me this Canon, gave it to me for free. It's got the battery grip on it, and it's got a kit lens. And guess what? I shot some concert photos last summer to prove I could do it with it. It's about 11 megapixels. It's a very basic Canon camera, and I got it for free. Okay, someone just gave it to me, and it works. I'll also show you some photos that are taken with this camera that I did at the Grapevine Opry. This camera is a 6.1 megapixel Nikon D70S, and it came with the kit lens. The kit lens. And don't let them fool you. In a lot of cases, if you know what you're doing, the kit lens will work just fine for beginning. You don't have to spend a lot of money to buy all this stuff. First off, you don't know if you're going to like concert photography. You don't know if you're going to make any money at it. You don't know what you're going to do with it. So, like all those people that have those Casio keyboards, those big, huge keyboards, they're all under the bed. 6 months from now, once you decide you're going to go to another kind of thing, this camera may end up under the bed next to that Casio keyboard. This machine right here, I saw it on I think KEH or B&H or something like that. You can get the body for as little as $35, and the kit lens, a decent kit lens for it, for less than $100. So this camera here will cost you less than probably $150. Want something a little better? Here's a Nikon D200. This was the professional line level of digital cameras for Nikon. Not the D234, but this was the next line below it. It's a professional built machine. This camera body I paid $109 for, and the kit lens that's on it was $150. So I got the better 18 to 70 zoom instead of the 18 to 55. It's got a metal lens mount. Have I said that you have to spend $3,000 on a body and $2,000 on a lens? No, not at all. These cameras will do the job while you're learning. The other thing that happens with them is, how do you learn how to use them? You want to instantly go out and photograph concerts with these things. Problem is, you don't know how. You've never experienced it. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to operate them. Okay. In the old days, what we had to do is read the manual. Nowadays, Sony's don't even come with a manual. They come with a quick start sheet, and then you have to figure it out, or you have to look at it online to get the manual. That's a pain in the butt, because one, you don't know what you're looking at. Two, it's a hassle to use, and three, it's not at your fingertips. So that's a problem. But if you can't do that, what you need to do, probably I would recommend, is get out on YouTube. There is a couple guys that I'd recommend. One is Michael Brown. Michael Brown is an Englishman, and Michael Brown is excellent at teaching fundamentals of how to use a camera. Another one is a man from Malaysia named Andrew Bowie, and Andrew is really, really good. He's a little more advanced on some things, but excellent. Two excellent sources to learn the basic use of the camera. Would I take immediately and go shoot a concert with this once I just bought it if I didn't know what I was doing? Wouldn't hurt anything, but I wouldn't do it. I would spend probably the first 3 to 6 months carting this thing around, shooting anything and everything that I could think of. I'd take it on the street, the beach, the park, downtown, wherever you want to. Learn how to operate it in full manual mode properly. Learn what you're doing. And a large amount of people that are out there trying to teach you how to use your camera, in some of these cases, barely know how to run their own. So you have to be patient and watch and see what you're doing. But you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you don't want to go off with this thing and not know what you're doing. The other thing too is you don't want to approach people and offer them your photographs when there's a possibility you may come up with nothing at all. So $250, $150, free to start out with, using your cell phone. Hey, it's all right. You're building a portfolio. You're getting the stuff. The better you get, the quicker you can get the better photos into your portfolio and get the junk stuff out of it, and you start getting the experience. My first digital cameras were actually Sony's. I had a Sony one that used a floppy disk. I had one that used a memory stick with Zeiss lenses on it, and I was pretty happy with that. But I wasn't shooting as much, and I wasn't doing concert photography with the digitals. I still had film cameras for most of that kind of stuff. So the first camera that I bought was this Nikon. Um, I bought a Nikon D70S to start using to get used to digital photography in an SLR version, and then when I upgraded to a D7100, which is the Nikon crop sensor, serious amateur, professional grade piece of equipment. And this was the very first that I started out. And I went out and actually bought some lenses, and I shot some music venues with this, and I still use it today on a lot of cases. I used it last night at the Rustic, and it does a good job. So now that you've got an idea, and I told you you can use, you can go ahead and use your cell phone to start with, and you can go with cheaper cameras. The next thing you need to know is lenses. And if you listen to a lot of people out on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever, man, you got to have that 70 to 200 f2.8 that runs $2,000, or you got to have that 24 to 70 f2.8 that's got to run $2,400. That's crap. Um, Starting out, the kit lens, the 18 to 55, the 18 to 70, whatever brand you pick, for the most part, will do it. And they say, well, it's not 2.8. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Most of them are 3.5 and to 2.8. We're talking not overly a major amount of difference. So when you start out with those, you need to start understanding and learning about equipment and what equipment you're going to use. I carry, well, I just retired my D7100 pretty much, so I carry two matched Nikon D800 cameras. They're the professional grade Nikon DSLRs. Why do I carry them? Rather than pay $3,000 for the camera, I just bought this one in like new condition. I've got the receipt in the box from the guy that bought it originally. He paid $3,000 for this device. I paid $399.99 for it, and it works great. On top of it, its main use is it's going to get a 28 to 105, 3.5, 4.5 zoom. This lens is perfect because it's got a long enough reach to get you back to the drummer if you're sitting in the pit, and it's got a wide enough view to get the whole stage in most cases from standing back. So you can get the wide angle shots. You can get the short telephoto to pull you into the drummer if you need to. You can also get it close to guitars, keyboards, every other band member with this. And this camera is 36.3 megapixels. It's I think it fires at like 6 frames a second, if in burst. So it's plenty of camera. It's professional grade. It's weather sealed. It's a tank. The second camera, and really my camera, my weapon of choice, is this. This is another matched D800, 36.3 megapixels, Nikon beast of a camera with a battery grip on the bottom. And this camera I bought about 3 or 4 years ago. I paid $650 for it. I put extended warranties on all my cameras so that in case something does go wrong, I am covered. The lens on it is a 28, no, pardon me, what am I thinking? This lens that's on it is a 80 to 200 f2.8 Nikkor zoom. It's a professional grade Nikkor zoom. It is built like a tank. It's rock solid. It's sharp as a tack, and it allows me to do my signature, what I like, my portrait type style photos of my band members and artists. It allows me plenty of depth to get into the back of the stage, pull the drummer out, pull keyboardists, bass players, whoever I want to pull out from that. And I use these two cameras. I just bought the other one, so I'm starting to use these two cameras for every major concert that I do. Do you have to have this? No, but originally you would start out with the bare minimum and find out if you even like stuff, and then you'd have to decide, and then you might, if you really get into it, want something like this. And at that point, you can sit down and say, "Man, I want to go modern. I want to go." I want to go the mirrorless cameras. I want to try that. I want to do that. That's up to you. But the first thing to do is to sit down, learn to run your camera in manual mode, learn how it works, learn how it focuses, learn your metering. I use spot metering almost exclusively with these cameras, and learn ISO, learn your exposure triangle that you'll hear people talk about, and that's the most important thing. But to get your portfolio started, if you have nothing at all, absolutely nothing, start out with your cell phone and start getting photographs. I got a couple last things I really want to emphasize. I wouldn't take my camera to a concert for probably 3 months, 4 months after I got it. I might and try some stuff, but I wouldn't be real dependent on it. I would take that puppy out, and I know when I was taking photojournalism classes in college, my instructor told us that we were to live with our camera and to be on our hip all the time, and we would take pictures of everything. And that's back in the film days when it was expensive and you had to buy film. With these digital cameras, man, you don't have to do that. You download stuff off the card, reuse the card over and over and over. It's just a lot more economical. But I would live with that camera. I'd go to the park. I'd shoot whatever I want to shoot. Shoot the dog, shoot the cat, shoot the sister, whatever. But I would learn to run this machine properly. And the other thing, too, is I would take and probably ignore a lot of information. Please don't ignore me. It's up to you. But I would ignore a lot of information that you're going to get from some of these people on the internet that, one, aren't as really good or don't have as much experience yet. So anyway, that's kind of tough to say, but it is. It's true. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. If you found anything useful in this video, like and subscribe. Man, our channel is growing. It's getting bigger. We're getting more of a following. And man, if you got questions, comments, concerns, confusions, whatever, man, put them in the comments. Let me know if you got suggestions for a video. This video series came from a viewer's suggestion that they wanted to see it. So guess what? You're seeing it right here. So if you got any comments, concerns, confusions, let us know. Like and subscribe. We thank you. And hey, until maybe next week, keep on taking those photographs. Rock on.